Well, this is our uncapping tank, and this is where we cut the caps off of all of the honey frames before running them through the extractor. And I don't have any full frames right here, but normally we'll take an uncapping knife, and if the honeycomb is pulled out far enough, you can just run the knife right down and cut the cappings off. Cut the other side, and then run it through the extractor and spin all the honey out. But sometimes the comb isn't built out far enough to cut it off, so then you either have to take this pick and pick all of the caps off all the way, turn it over and do that, or what my wife has been using is this tool, which is got a little spines on it in a radial formation, and you just run it up and down the frames, and that punctures every one of the comb cells so that when you run it through the extractor, the honey gets flung out. But when you're doing 500-600 of these frames at a time, doing this can wear you out, and she's got wrist problems, carpal tunnel. And so I tore a couple of these apart to figure out how they're built. And what they are is just a bunch of wheels with spines on them, and they all stack together. And so I took a couple of these apart and made a new one and mounted it right on the uncapping tank bar here. And so now when she finds a frame that isn't deep enough to cut the cappings off, she can simply slide this on there, run this back and forth, flip it over, run it back and forth, and it fits perfectly in this so that those pins will puncture all of those cells and allow us to do an extraction without her having to sit here and spend a lot of her energy effectively painting and rolling every one of the frames. And once it's punctured and that, we'll set it into this rack, and then once the rack is full, then we'll load up our extractor and it'll spin all of the honey out. But the intent is that this custom roller that I made out of a couple of these handheld ones will obviously speed it up for her, but also make it less of a pain to her wrists, having to roll everything all the time. So we're looking forward to trying this out and seeing how this helps in our normal processing of the honey frames.